So, PMDG have released the Boeing 737-800, arguably one of the most highly anticipated airliners for Microsoft Flight Sim so far. Now, of course, we're no stranger to PMDG in Microsoft Flight Sim. Almost a year ago now, they brought their DC-6 over to the simulator, and over the last few months, we've been greeted with the 600 and 700. Now we've finally got the 800. I'll be giving you my thoughts on it. Now be aware this is not an in-depth review. I've flown this around, but I've reviewed all the other ones. And to be fair, the 800, while a different aircraft, isn't too different, so it would be silly to do a full-blown review. I'll also be going through some of the features we get as a 737 wide update. Small features, but cool nonetheless. Without further delay, let's get right into it. Okay, so a bit of background for the Boeing 737-800. Of course, it's the most popular 737 next generation variant in real life. Largest operators are Southwest Airlines and Ryanair, followed by some other American airlines. In my example, it's the first airliner I ever flew on, and I'm sure that's the same for many of you as well. It's very, very commonly used across the world. It is a true workhorse of the aviation industry. The 737-800 was designed to replace the 737-400, which is from the previous generation. Depending on the class layout, it can seat up to 189 passengers. I believe 189 is the final capacity because of the exits, so they are legally limited to that. The aircraft itself is 129 feet long, or 39.47 meters, roughly, and has a maximum takeoff weight of 79,000 kilograms. As I said, it's a very common aircraft in real life, and that means it's very common in the simulator. Now, I picked it up for $70 or thereabouts, which is pretty expensive. It's the same price as the 700, and that is with a $5 discount. It's normally around $74 99 cents. It's just on a short early adopter sale, which doesn't really make sense because it's only $5, so it's not like we're exactly saving too much. In UK pounds, it's only £3, but hey ho, at least it's some sort of discount. Now, that might raise a few eyebrows, the fact it's the same as an aircraft many of us have already bought, but to be fair, PMDG was always transparent about how they'd release this aircraft, so if you bought the 700, and I was one of them that did, we can't really complain that we're buying a similar aircraft twice, because quite frankly, we knew it was coming. Now, much like the 600 and 700, the PMDG 737-800 is highly realistic. Doesn't mean it's perfect, and some say it's not as highly realistic as the Phoenix Sim A320 in its current form. It is missing stuff like the electronic flight bag and real-life circuit breakers, although people seem to use circuit breakers as some sort of metric to measure how realistic an aircraft is. I don't know if that's a fair way of looking at it, but yes, that's it. I did speak about an EFB there. It will be coming along shortly. I believe the EFB should be going into beta testing in September. Now that I've covered the aircraft, it's very good, it's what you'd expect, the cockpit is awesome, sounds are awesome, flight model's fantastic, and of course has been updated for the 800. Let me sort of address the elephant in the room. Should you buy it? Well, if you really like the 800, then I'd suggest you pick it up now because it's everything you expect. But if you're a bit tight on money, and let's be honest, who isn't in days like this? I know I certainly am. I'm just very lucky to have YouTube. If you bought the 700 or the 600, then you don't really need the 800 just now. Now, of course, this is my opinion, and unless you're really set on the 800 and you've been waiting for the 800 purely, then of course it might be different. But to be fair, the 700, definitely the 700, is a very similar airliner. Now, there is the point as well that if you're in the 800, you get to fly more realistic routes, but is that worth the $70? Well, I guess that's got to be a decision for you to make. In my personal opinion, if you're really into realism, then I would say yes, of course it's worth it. But if you just like flying the 737, then I wouldn't say you need to jump on the 800 just yet. I don't doubt the quality of PMDG products, they're always very good, and the 800 is no exception. But a $70 price tag, after many of us would have spent at least $70 on the 700, or a bit cheaper, around 35 UK pounds on the 600, within the last few months, then of course you've got to weigh up in your head whether or not you're willing to spend that money. For me, personally, I've got YouTube which will pay for it mostly anyway, so it was a no-brainer for me, and I love to keep you guys informed, so I did not mind. PMDG admittedly have been very smart with their business model. I wouldn't say any of it is sort of like just ripping people off, because it's not, and anyone that suggests that is completely wrong. PMDG have provided us with great products, but they have played on people's impatience, I guess, and I certainly fall to one of them. So let me know your thoughts of it down below. It's a really good aircraft, and you know, price is by definition is quite fair because it's a great aircraft, but if you spent money elsewhere, then of course you may reconsider. Let me know your thoughts down below. Now, quickly speaking about some of the other features we've been gifted by PMDG as part of their update. This is coming to the 700, 600 and 800. We've got window shades, which can be enabled in any 737 by going into the FMC, then clicking PMDG, then clicking aircraft, and then going to page 16. You can just go from page 1 and click back to get there instantly, and then you'll see window shades. Now, window shades are slightly customizable, so you can open up certain ones and move them all over the place. It's very cool how it interacts with PMDG's lighting model, as you can see from me sitting on the ground here. On top of that, we've got a movable reading light. You can turn on the reading light by clicking the button to the left of the yoke. You'll figure out what one it is. One of them twists, the other one is a push button. And then a reading light turns on above you. The really cool thing about this is that you can swivel it about, you can move it about, and the lighting will readjust. It just feels really realistic, and it just works. Some really cool features there. All in all, the PMDG 737s seem to have seen some performance updates as well. Maybe it's just the 800 for me, but I find the 737s are a lot smoother in terms of FPS. Might just be my system and Sim Update 10 beta, or me just sort of lying to myself, some sort of placebo, but I do feel that, and it's really good that PMDG continue to work on all the variants as expected. Last thing I'd want to say about the PMDG 737-800 is that you get so many liveries with it, I guess because the 800 is so popular in real life. So if you're the type of person that really loves a livery, then the 800 may be for you. So there we have it, guys, keeping you up to date with all the PMDG news. I know the 800 came out a few days ago, but I've just been very busy with work, so I do apologise for the slight delay. From me today, that is all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed looking at the 800. I'll see you around, guys. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and check out my Amazon affiliate links for all the stuff I use to fly, film and edit. Have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world. Bye bye.